Before we do kick off, the players of both teams and officials take the knee in the continued stance to tackle racism in football and wider society. It will be West Ham, kitted in all black, to get us underway this afternoon. Gory looking for some space out on that right-hand side early doors. Katrina Gory had a fantastic game last weekend, and now Brighton quickly on the attack as well. Fantastic tempo early on in the opening exchanges of this WSL encounter. The pace that Brighton have to command and open up space as well. Lasada taking a moment to assess her options. Looking for a little bit of space on the right-hand side. Hesitates a moment and is getting hassled by Gory, who is applying that pressure. Lasada picks back up on the halfway line, gets the ball back and then goes long. And that'll be too much to chase for Kiko Seike. Ball hooked clear by West Ham. You can see Rianne Skinner on the corner of her technical area. Massive, massive win for the West Ham boss last week. It had been a long, long period. And this will be a cause of concern for the West Ham manager. 90 seconds on the clock, and her captain, Katrina Gory, is down and looks in some degree of discomfort. The West Ham United captain played such a key role in the victory against Leicester City last Sunday, covering so much ground. It was perhaps her best performance in a West Ham United shirt. She'll be absolutely desperate to build upon that 90 minutes, to showcase that leadership as the visitors search for back-to-back wins in the WSL, and they haven't done that for a long time. Gory is tentative. Her teammates in discussion around her. And the concerning, troubling thing from a West Ham perspective is there was no player around Gory. We saw the energy she was bringing to proceedings early on. You worry if it's a bit of a muscular injury. Captain has an asthma pump in her hand, and fingers crossed she'll be able to resume. But West Ham are down to 10, and that is something that Brighton will look to exploit. Bergson back to Bagley in goal. A different back three for Brighton. Lots has been said about their style of play this season and how much playing from that strong defensive line has played a part in their success. Two of that back three absent today, including Karabali, who has been a real standout performer for Brighton. Only Alex Greenwood has recorded more passes this season than her. Always looking for that forward ball. A chance for other Brighton players to step up into the 11. McLaughlin, one of those players, concedes the foul. Brighton will have a free kick to defend. Gory back on the pitch. Just pointing out to the referee that she'd quite like the Brighton players to be there 10 yards. Receives the ball from Asai and then plays it down that left-hand channel. It rolls out for a goal kick for the home team. Ball played out to that left-hand side. Kirby applies some pressure and it's a throw-in. Yards into the West Ham half. Brighton have won 6 of their last 8 meetings with West Ham. The Seagulls winning more matches against the Hammers than any other side in the WSL. Although last season, they were unable to pinch 3 points from today's opponents to sustain that bid for a top 4 place. It'd be imperative for Brighton to pick up victory today, shake off that defeat to Arsenal, which was a tough one. 3 goals down after just 30 minutes, but a number of the senior players, even some of the younger ones actually this week, in various interviews and sound bites, have spoken about almost trying to take the emotion out of the result, learn the lessons that needed to be learned, and showcase today how they are a side that can consistently perform, can consistently catch the eye and show even more improvement. Here's Nikita Paris, one of the many new faces welcome to the club in the summer. The challenge comes in, it's a free kick for West Ham, who too have had lots of changeover during the summer. That's perhaps been a reason why West Ham have always struggled to build and climb up the table. It's something Rhian Skinner almost alluded to in the summer herself. West Ham, sometimes when it comes to their contract negotiations, securing the services of players to build a squad around hasn't always been the easiest. But some players have really broken through in the last couple of seasons. Anouk Denton and Amber Tiziak along that back four, 2 in particular, started every game so far this season, adding a bit of stability at the back for West Ham. And Kirsty Smith will see today as a real opportunity as well. She started all 22 fixtures last season for the Hammers. This is her first start for the visitors today. So West Ham look to control the ball on the right-hand side. Zadorsky back to her keeper. Brighton looking to press and set the trap. West Ham deal with it well, and here's Denton. Into the Brighton half and releases the ball forwards. Bagley's off her line, offering the pass back and then makes the clearance, but Denton's there again. Here is West Ham on the move, down that left-hand side. Can the cross be delivered? Yes, it can. Can it be met? West Ham bodies charging towards that 6-yard area. Una Siren, I think, with the last touch. This is great work from Asai. It was Pavi and Siren in the area, neither able to make a clean connection with the cross. Here's Bergsvand, one of the 4 players in the WSL to have completed more than 500 passes so far this season. Again, just imperative to the way Brighton set up and like to play. West Ham win the ball back, and they too can build. Here's Denton. Back to Zadorsky. Kirby given chase. That's dealt with well by Tiziak, who looks to recycle, playing the ball back to Shamik, out to Zadorsky. And here's Asai down the left channel, once again charging forwards for West Ham, cutting inside. Nice little 1-2 with Ueki. Can West Ham keep this attack alive? Yes, they can. Ball played on the outskirts of the 18-yard area. Delivery comes in, headed away. Pop back in. Eventually cleared by Brighton. To be a promising start for West Ham, who have gone a long time without winning on the road. One victory in their last 14 away games, and that was back in January. 10 minutes played here. Brighton 0, West Ham United 0. Neither goalkeeper forced into action yet. Bergsand gets the ball back, has options to her left and right, plays it to her right to help set Brighton on their way. Can they pose West Ham's defence some early problems here? They'll be patient, they'll build, and they'll take the ball into the West Ham half. Hailing. Had Kirby almost as a square option, plays it forward. Gave her teammate lots to do, and the cutback was just out of play. Ball just rolling off. West Ham with the goal kick. Long ball forwards. It's the outstretched limbs of Rico Ueke, who signals to her teammate with a high five, lifts her arm aloft, wants that kind of ball forwards, Rico Ueke. And although she wasn't on the score sheet last week at Leicester City, her work rate and industry caused the Foxes' defence all sorts of problems. Received praise in recent weeks from her manager, who says she's right up there when it comes to top WSL talent in the final third. Not just for the goals she scores, but the way that she can drop deep, hold up play, link in with others. We'll see her make plenty of offers as this 90 minutes unfolds as well. Here's Asai. Back to Sadorski. Smith. Asai goes down, wanting to win the free kick in the challenge against McLaughlin, but it's a fair one. And the former Rangers player has the ball, plays it back to Bergsvand. And the Norwegian defender assesses her options. Brighton look to switch up play because Madison Haley's stretching out on that far left-hand side. Gory with the challenge. Right in front of the referee, who blows her whistle to indicate for a Brighton free kick. Good opportunity for the home team to get some bodies in the box. Put into practice some of those routines worked on in the training ground. It's time for West Ham to get organised. Looks like a two-player wall is going to be formed. As we approach 15 minutes on the clock, will we see a breakthrough? from this dead ball scenario. Oh, and it's a poor first touch, but the attack's still alive for Brighton. But Asai doing her defensive shift, and a good counter-attack could be on. There's a tug. And there is the foul. It's Pattinson who takes a little bit of Pubel's shirt. 4th consecutive start for the West Ham player. Growing in confidence and building into this West Ham United team. Brighton will be really disappointed in the way that opportunity failed to materialise into anything. First quarter of an hour gone and it's still goalless here. Ball goes long. Fed into the 18-yard area. This is a good advance for the home team, and it results in a corner, the first of the game. Sometimes you're wondering when that trigger's going to be pulled, when that pass is going to be made, and it was done perfectly there for Brighton to gain yards down the pitch, attack with intent, and eventually win this corner. The free kick wasn't direct. Will Brighton go for a full throttle approach with this delivery in towards the back post? Punch clear. Kirby will pick up the seconds. And some space opening up on the outskirts of the 18-yard area. Pattinson. And the shot gathered. It's the first on target we've had so far this afternoon. An efforted drive towards goal for a sea of bodies, dealt with by West Ham, who are on the attack. Pavy twisting and turning, lays the ball back to Siren. Here's Asai. West Ham's all-time top goal scorer in the WSL, 13 goals to her name. Just the 2 on the road. Should be looking to build upon last week's winner. Said post-match that this is just the beginning for West Ham. It's been a tough start. They've played a number of teams in the top 5. So picking up victory, the first of the season against Leicester, was almost a non-negotiable for West Ham. We have the ball on the right-hand side. It's whipped in to the area. Pubel out to Siren, who's just beaten to the ball. But West Ham have the throw-in, and Brighton would have liked the defending to be a little bit tidier there. And that's a nice touch to Haley, who plays it back to Bergsband. Ball over the top. It's a really good one for Paris to chase onto, and the shot comes in. And the corner is conceded. Nikita Paris, such a good outlet for this Brighton team. Uses her body so effectively, controls the ball nicely, gets the shot away from a tight angle, forces the save. A really bright moment for the 30-year-old. who scored the goal last time out at the Amex to earn a draw against Manchester United, her former team, of course, the side she joined, made the switch from over the summer. Paris just escapes out of the area, makes the offer, picks it up now though. Delivery comes in. Punted clear by West Ham. And Brighton will reset the ball at the feet of Sophie Bagley. Kirby keeps the ball in play over by that corner flag. Looks to link up with Hayley. West Ham under some applied pressure here. As Hayley tries to pinch possession back, and West Ham have the throw in. Madison Hayley, the daughter of the former 5-time NFL Super Bowl winner, Charles Hayley. Plenty of sporting pedigree in that family. Hayley won the A-League title with Sydney FC, so I'm sure she's a player that her manager is very familiar with from his spell at Melbourne City, of course. Vidicic has earned plenty of praise. Manager of the Month award as well, and many of his players have spoken about the brave, bold style of play that he's looking to really embed here, and it has been an unsettled period for Brighton and Hove Albion, lots of managerial change. But with Vidicic, they seem to have found the right man for the task to make Brighton a top 4 side. They're very public with that desire, and Nikita Paris, interestingly actually, has spoken about the conversation she had on the phone with Vidicic. Nikita Paris getting a lot of phone calls over the summer, prospective teams who wanted to secure her services, and she said her conversation with him, she just knew that this is how I see football, this is how I like to play, and actually said she hasn't played under a manager quite like it since Nick Cushing at Manchester City. She continues to be a threat in this game. It will feed into her approach to try and get back into Serena Wiegmann's thoughts for selection as well. Paris with the little bit of pressure, but West Ham passing it along their back line. That's good work by Brighton to win back possession. Can they make something of it? They'll win a free kick. And Vivian Asai will receive the first yellow card of the day for that challenge. And we're halfway through this opening 45 minutes. Still nothing to separate the two sides. Brighton players in discussion about how best to utilise this opportunity. The delivery comes in and is headed away by West Ham. Brighton do welcome some key players back onto the bench this afternoon. Pauline Bramer missed out on the Arsenal game, her third game in a row actually, due to a muscle injury. The same with Jelena Kankovic. Both are back in contention should they be required later on in this game. What Brighton are required to do now is to defend. And that's exactly what they do, clearing the danger away. Michelle Adjaman also returns to the bench for Brighton, unable to play in the match against Arsenal, who she's on loan from. A really, really talented young player who can make such a difference. She did so last time out here at the Amex in the match against Manchester United. She's strong, capable, and really, really quick. Quite a force to behold, and will cause WSL defenders all types of problems, not just this season, but for many, many more. A really brilliant prospect. His development, many of us will keep an eye on, especially when it comes to representing the England Lionesses, which she's been doing at the youth level. Brighton on the attack. And the shot comes in from Fran Kirby. Just saw the space with all of her quality. Took the invitation to have a go from quite some range. You can almost see the frustration. She didn't quite connect with it or place the ball with as much venom as she would have liked. Fran Kirby, 7 WSL titles to her name. And 12 new faces joined Brighton over the summer, a lot of recruitment. Hers is one of the most eye-catching, a player with such quality. Has made a real difference to the Seagulls as they've been soaring up the league. Here's Gory for West Ham, chips the ball into the 18-yard area, chested down, Ueki with the strike. Ricochets off of a Brighton defender and will be gathered by Sophie Bagley. As I mentioned at the start, a very busy weekend of action. This fixture, the first of 3 being played today. Spurs host Arsenal in the North London derby at 1:45, and then later on this evening, a mouth-watering clash at the top of the division. Chelsea welcoming Manchester City to Stamford Bridge at 5:30. We're waiting for a goal here at the Amex as Hayley holds up play. Needs a little bit of support and some options around her. Plays the ball back. It's nice from Lasada, even nicer from Kirby, and the chance for the shot to come in. And Brighton have their lead. Rachel McLaughlin with a really classy finish. The Seagulls defender opening up her body beautifully, knew exactly where she wanted to put the ball. And Brighton have the lead at the Amex. Her first goal for the football club, and she switched up feet so smoothly, didn't she? A leap in the air, a moment to enjoy, one to savour. The defender committing to get forward with her teammates. Gets them off the mark this afternoon. Really interesting to see in the celebrations, though, Fran Kirby coming over, and if you read her body language, adamantly perhaps saying to her teammates, if we move the ball like that, if we are a bit quicker, a bit more tenacious when we do have possession, confident perhaps, we can unlock some opportunities. And they're on the attack again, and here is Kirby looking to pull all the strings. Half an hour played and Brighton have the upper hand. Can they add to their tally before the break, or will West Ham be able to respond? This play switched up over to the right-hand side. 3v3 with Brighton bodies back, and the challenge comes in and the throw-in goes the way of West Ham. Smith with the throw-in. Zadorski finds Denton. Denton coming inside, has support. Asai with the delivery in. It's a good one. And Pavy had made the run. Those two combining. Last week it looked like Asai was trying to put the ball on the plate for her teammate this time around. Made that run from the right-hand side towards the 6-yard area. Didn't make the connection with the header she would have liked. Lucky. Lucky drives in towards that penalty spot, trying to get on the end of Asai's cross in. Paris picks up, finds Haley, who changes up feet, and it's a congested area, and Brighton unable to get the ball away, and eventually it's cleared. But West Ham's hard work wins the throw-in, halfway in the Seagulls' territory. You wondered whether Brighton would look to seize upon the momentum of that opening goal, but West Ham have responded well. Can they test the gloves of Sophie Bagley? And merit some more creativity with the possession that they've had in this first half so far. First corner of the match for the visitors. In a sense, given their struggles in front of goal so far this season, these kind of scenarios are going to be incredibly valuable. And that's a nice ball that's fed far too easily into the 18-yard area. The shot's blocked, the foul's given, and it comes to little for West Ham. The Brighton defence did switch off a little bit there, weren't alert to the run that was coming in. Haley will give chase, and Zadorsky under pressure, plays it back to her keeper, and then offers for the pass and plays it forward to Denton. Ueki leaves the ball. She was in an offside position. Denton wasn't. Ueki with the cross. And Pattinson concedes the corner. That's 2 in quick succession for West Ham. 10 minutes left of the first half. Can the Hammers draw level? Marseille weren't teammates in and around that area. There was just about enough pressure on the Brighton defence. And Saï gets a second chance to try and cause some problems from a corner. Smith just goes to creep onto the toes of Bagley in the Brighton goal. As the corner comes in, headed away by Paris. Only so far as Zadorsky. And her cross goes over the crossbar for a Brighton goal kick. The goal scorer, McLaughlin, back to Bagley. McLaughlin just stretching out to the right-hand side. She's offering the pass, but West Ham not offering much pressure on the ball. I know that Brighton's defence is comfortable playing out. Bergsand. Haley chests it down and turns really nicely as well. Good little battle going on between Denton. The decision should go the way of West Ham, and it does. Denton, a regular for call-ups into the England under-23s. We'll know many in this Brighton team, including Maisie Simons, who's been absolutely fantastic for Brighton, has an unbelievable story in terms of the adversity and some of the health problems she's had to overcome. Had glandular fever, hepatitis, and her spleen was ruptured. It was really life-threatening. And she said it's taken her a year to really feel back to her very best. 21 years old and playing alongside Vicky Losada, the 33-year-old. She's going to be learning so much week in, week out. She's actually part of a really interesting series on the Barclays Women's Super League YouTube channel, Journey to Greatness series, where her progress, along with some others across the division, is going to be monitored for the next 5 years. And she is certainly a player we can look forward to enjoying, watch not only week in, week out in the WSL, but I'm sure as well pushing into senior football for the England Lionesses. Scored a fantastic late winner here actually at the Amex Stadium against Leicester. Brighton, 1 goal to the good so far this afternoon. Possession's been even between the two teams. A smart finish from Rachel McLaughlin is the difference as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the opening half. McLaughlin into a little bit of pressure there. Brighton have the throw in. Again, it's another strength of Brighton's that they've had to make changes defensively. So much has been spoken of that back three, and to have to change it, the players have acquitted themselves well. They know the system. Although it is lots of new faces in the building, this squad looks a strong one, although there's been a mix-up here. The shot is an ambitious one. Would have taken quite something to beat Sophie Bagley at that range. The Colombian international Manuela Pavi thought she'd have a go. Haley, dispossessed by Gory, but still will give chase and wins Brighton a free kick. Refused to give up. And wins her team a set-piece opportunity accordingly. It's one that, again, a number of the Brighton players will be interested in delivering. Lagers and Losada, the nearest to the ball. As West Ham set up to defend. And there is the delivery. It's a really, really good one. Mika's off her line quickly, gathers and then throws it out to Asai. Still time for West Ham to charter a meaningful attack in the Brighton third. Good footwork. Ball out with Denton on the corner of the 18-yard area. Denton has Pubel for support. Gory now for West Ham. Zadorsky. Zadorsky with the delivery. That will be headed clear by Brighton. Seconds left of the opening 45 to go here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton 1-0 up after Rachel McLaughlin's goal in 29 minutes. Hasn't been tons and tons of opportunities, and certainly for West Ham in the second half. They'll be looking to test Sophie Bagley in the Brighton goal far, far more. Lots of work rate and endeavour. A good share of possession too for the visitors. It looks like they will be trailing as we head towards half-time. Paris plays it out to the left-hand side. Haley, nice touch. Second lets her down a bit, and Denton takes away the ball for West Ham. As the fourth official indicates that we will have a minimum of 2 minutes of additional time to this first half. That in part due to the treatment that West Ham captain Katrina Gory required very early on in this game. Some nervous moments for West Ham, hoping their captain would be okay. Fortunately, she has been. And West Ham have a bit more defending to do before the half-time break. As it's Kirby at her most threatening that wins her team a corner late in this first half. Fran Kirby, she's such a magic player. She can be so unpredictable in front of goals sometimes. You sense a little bit of tentative defending from West Ham United, but they can't be tentative as they face this corner in the final minute of the opening half. Ball comes in, headed away. Kirby lurking on the outskirts of the 18-yard area, plays it neatly to her right-hand side. Another delivery comes in. It required a strong header. Ziziak was there for West Ham. Brighton turning up the heat late on in the first half. McLaughlin takes the throw, finds Haley. Haley scanning her options. And that is the last piece of action we will see in this opening half of football at the Amex Stadium. A half defined so far by a solitary goal from Rachel McLaughlin. Half time here in the Barclays Women's Super League. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 1, West Ham United 0. And we need to turn around this one-goal deficit sharply if they're to do so and to climb further up the table. It's Nikita Paris who will get us underway for the second half. No changes made by either team at the break. A quick reminder, though, that Brighton did have to make 2 changes, missing out on 2 key players in their back three. Rachel McLaughlin starting, Marissa Odeslaga's coming into the team as well. Meanwhile, Kirsty Smith makes her first start for West Ham this season. And an otherwise unchanged 11 for the visitors. Brighton do like playing against West Ham. They've won more matches against them than any other side in the WSL. 7 victories. During their time in the WSL. Picking up an 8th would be huge again. And shouting the message loud and clear that Brighton have aspirations to be a solid team in the top 4, and they currently sit 3rd in the WSL. Have only suffered defeat twice so far this season. Suffering losses to Manchester City and to Arsenal. Both those sides are in action today. Arsenal kicking off imminently away at Spurs, and Manchester City have a trip to the capital to take on Chelsea later on. A brilliant opening day of the weekend in the WSL and the Barclays Women's Championship too. This is a good move for Brighton, and it requires some last-ditch defending. West Ham right side of defence having to combine Smith and Tiziak to deal with the danger posed by Kiko Seike. Pattinson playing the ball back. The challenge comes in, and it's a free kick for Brighton. It was a late one. Might even result in some further punishment, or perhaps a final word, a stern word to Serena Pubell. Vicky Losada, the eternal captain of Barcelona, walks away from this particular free kick. Maisie Simons instead stands over, and we know that she fancies her luck from free kicks. Has scored here at the Amex a goal against Leicester City. Can she produce a similar type of magic? A talented young player signed by Hope Powell. Free kick comes off of the wall. It's causing all sorts of problems in and around that 6-yard area as Nikita Paris tried to hook it towards goal. Eventually cleared by West Ham. A free kick met with warm applause around the Amex Stadium. Brighton looking to start the second half brightly. The ball bounced off of the kneecap. It would have been quite a spectacular goal from Nikita Paris had she been able to connect with the ball. Brighton now rebuild with Kirby. Seke twists really neatly up against Smith. Kirby looks to try and control the ball and hook it over the defence. Ball goes long for West Ham. It's a neat one-touch football, but the accuracy of the pass out to that left-hand side wasn't good enough, and that wasn't as neat or as accurate as it needed to be by Sophie Bagley. And West Ham have possession over on the far left-hand side. Pavey. There's Pupil for support. Challenge comes in, and eventually Hayley clears for the home team. Five minutes into the second half, still Brighton 1, West Ham United 0. Some space opening up on this right for Asai, who drills in, takes the shot. And West Ham respond to Brighton's good start to the second half with some advances of their own. Brighton playing here at the Amex for the second time this season. It was a 1-1 draw against Manchester United last time out. This weekend, for the very first time, all matches in the Barclays Women's Super League and Championship will be held at the main stadia of the clubs. And it's really interesting, actually, because about this time a year ago, Brighton were given the go-ahead in principle to find a site for a stadium purpose-built for women's football. Since 2018, Brighton have shared Crawley's Broadfield Stadium, which is about 20 miles plus from the city centre, and the commitment to a new stadium is linked very heavily to Brighton's ambition to become a top 4 WSL side. Brighton have pioneered and made ground since they were founded in 1967 as Brighton GPO, General Post Office. And that was 4 years before the ban on women's football was lifted, and since then they made the FA Cup semi-finals in 1976. Linked up with the men's team in 1990 when they become the founding members of the Premier League. And since then, things have gone from strength to strength. It was a difficult season last season, changeover of managers and so on. But where Brighton sit in the table is where they feel they should be, deserve to be, and are certainly building to be for the future. see the Brighton manager lifting both his arms aloft as his team give away the ball cheaply. West Ham on the attack. Gory. Out to her right-hand side. Smith will pick up. Siren. Looking to lace the ball to Gory. It falls nicely for the West Ham captain. He tries to feed Ueki. Ueki rising highest and just unable to get placement on the ball she would have liked. Up next for both these teams is League Cup action. Leicester for the hosts, and a trip to London City Lionesses awaits West Ham, a London derby. Before it's back to business later on in the month. Some big games coming up in the WSL for both these teams. West Ham will welcome Crystal Palace in their next WSL game. Another one you suspect from Rianne Skinner's perspective. She's eyed for absolute must-win. Both ends of the division are looking tight. And mistakes and margins absolutely key, and that's poor play from Brighton that enables West Ham to attack here. A bit of hesitation on the ball, and Brighton can relieve a sigh there as Nikita Paris is fouled. Shalina Zadorsky enters the book for West Ham, the second yellow for West Ham. Throw-in looks to be taken quickly, and just too much on it. The attacking intent is there as Brighton look to charge up the tempo somewhat. Their brilliant start to the season was in part because of their fantastic clinical edge in front of goal. They scored 8 in their opening 3 league games, but have scored just 3 in the 4 WSL matches since. But despite that, only Chelsea have a better conversion rate this term in the division. The North London derby has kicked off between Spurs and Arsenal. And 3 matches taking place in the WSL this Saturday, all of them at the main stadia. As Brighton look to get back to winning ways at the Amex, actually. They won 4 straight matches here between 2019 and 2022. They're winless in their 3 fixtures since, 2 losses and the draw last month to Manchester United. As the Seagulls come to check in on how their local team's doing. Given away by West Ham. Can Brighton punish? Oh, the shot's a wild one. Akiko Seike, the first player to score a hat-trick upon her WSL debut in the impressive 4-0 thumping of Everton. Yet to score for Brighton since. Should be looking to try and just take those moments and add a bit of composure to them. It was a decent opening for Brighton. We'll come back to that point about sharpening up that razor ruthless edge in front of goal. Asayi, given far too much space and time to get the cross in. It's a really, really good cross, and that should be the leveller for West Ham. Serena Pubel with her head in her hands, and quite rightly so. The delivery to Asayi. The header itself should have looked to have tested the goalkeeper. It was heading wide. And the 24-year-old misses the target, and that is a huge, huge let-off for Brighton. How Asayi was afforded so much time to pick that cross out in the first place is something that Brighton will be interrogating after the game, I'm sure. A 3 clean sheets so far this season, and keeping on this afternoon will be on the list of objectives. That's a nice turn. Great ball forward. Brighton players sprinting into the area. And there's the shot. And there's the second. Look how much that goal means. Kiko Seike doubles Brighton's advantage. The ruthless, cutthroat edge showcasing a brilliant move. Fantastic work from Madison Haley in the build-up. And then the composure, just lay the ball off. It wasn't necessarily the cleanest, most powerful of strikes, but it did enough. The West Ham goalkeeper was struggling to get that bottom corner covered. And it's a 4th goal in the WSL for the Brighton forward. And the timing of that goal as well, massive for the home team. And it shows just how football can be sometimes. If you're boss Rianne Skin, you're thinking my team should have been level. And within about 60 seconds, they'll go 2 goals down, and the mountain to climb looks all that steeper for Skinner, who's won each of her last 4 against Brighton without conceding a single goal. She's conceded 2 today. Brighton with a real spring in their step now. Paris holding up play. Plays the ball forward. She's done neatly and nicely. And Brighton just look like they're going up a gear here at the Amex Stadium. Gory going to take the knock. He needs to shake it off. This West Ham need to find a goal here. Brighton dispossessed. Move forwards here. The ball fed now into the 18-yard area. Brighton have bodies back. As the strike comes in and it hits the crossbar, Katrina Gory almost slicing the deficit there for West Ham. Crossbar rattling still as Gory had the ball laid off to her. Yards away from the 18-yard area. Looked like that effort would be ricochet in the back of the net. But she won't be stopped again, the West Ham United captain. Katrina Gory with a big goal for the visitors. Brighton were fired a warning. The crossbar was rattled, and then the skipper, stepping up when's needed, has her side right back in this game. And what a goal it is. The effort from distance. I think the keeper a bit blindsided by the defender in front of her. And it's game on here at the Amex Stadium. Plenty of time for West Ham to draw themselves level. But for Brighton, they'll be disappointed. Some lapses of concentration, allowing a player like Katrina Gory to have 2 shots from distance in such short succession, and to not react particularly to the first when it came so close to being a goal. Gory's first goal of the season, one I'm sure she'll watch on repeat, but it won't mean a lot if she and her teammates can't build upon it. As we head into the final 25 minutes of this WSL encounter. There's a block for the run. Some good awareness from Kirsty Smith. I think Fran Kirby had a little glance at the referee to see if she was going to get a decision. Brighton do have the throw-in. Poppy Pattinson will take. One of the players who said this week that Brighton couldn't dwell on their loss to Arsenal. Spoke about how it's a mental game as well as a physical one, and Brighton need to rely on that strength of mind as they've conceded the goal here in what looked to be quite a comfortable position has been made a little bit unsteady. West Ham have the ball in the host half. Zadorsky playing the ball back to Tiziak. Smith now for West Ham. Gory, the goal scorer, clattered into. Play on, says the referee. And as we mentioned earlier on this week, the games this weekend between the WSL teams and the Championship teams all held at the club's main stadia. West Ham United yet to play a game at the London Stadium, so let's hope that will be an occasion that we can look forward to at some stage this season. Particularly when these games fall within international breaks, it offers fan bases the chance to come and watch as West Ham are in on goal here, and this could be the equaliser, but for a fantastic save. West Ham exposing some spaces and some fragility here in the Brighton defence as another cross comes in. West Ham have had their chances. Gory again for West Ham. Gory with the strike. Gory with the leveller. The West Ham United captain, when they needed a leader, they found one. 2 fantastic strikes from the skipper. draws them level, and Rianne Skinner will let her players enjoy the moment. But to refocus, and can they go one better now? Gory not only wins the ball, but strides forward and still finds the finish. Bagley will be disappointed in the Brighton goal, but with these kind of strikes, with that kind of tenacity, with that kind of attitude, you have to let that moment belong entirely to Katrina Gory. It's Brighton 2, West Ham United 2. Time now for the home team to respond. Seke with the delivery. Header from Haley, eventually cleared by West Ham. And the whistle blows. And I think it might be the West Ham captain, in fact, who requires the treatment urgently. And Gory is clinging to her shoulder where her armband is wrapped around. And this is never a good sign, is it, when the Brighton physios are called onto the pitch as well. Looks like a nasty shoulder injury for the West Ham United captain, who has been absolutely brilliant in this second half in particular, completely galvanising her team, scoring 2 goals in the space of about 4 minutes to draw her team level. Whilst she receives treatment, an opportune moment for Brighton to regather and to regroup. They've had a brilliant season so far, but to be 2-0 up and looking comfortable and enable your opposition to win the ball back, win the game back, so to speak, get back into the game as they have, will be disappointing. And it's experienced players like Nikita Parris who, again, will be utilising all of her experience, Vicky Losada, the others, to perhaps, again, dig deep and drive Brighton back ahead in this game. I mean, look at the quality between those two. Kirby and Nikita Parris having 140-odd caps for England between them. They're going to be disappointed, they're going to be frustrated, but plenty of time yet in this game for the headlines to be written. The headlines in this second half certainly belong to Katrina Gory. We're going to see some changes made. It certainly looks like, unfortunately, Katrina Gory's afternoon is over. Rianne Skinner in deep discussion with her coach and staff. Whilst for Brighton, a double change. Jelena Kankovic and Michelle Adjamang are prepared. Kankovic out with a hamstring injury for the past 3 games. Michelle Adjamang returning back into the fold after missing out against Arsenal last time out the club there. She's on loan from, and actually this game might be screaming out for a player like Michelle Adjamang from a Brighton perspective. To try and chuck something different into the final third, the attacking options for Brighton. Rianne Skinner brings her players together. She'll be so pleased with the character, hunger and desire they've shown to come to a place like the Amex and get back in the game.
For Brighton Hove Albion, coming off, number 6, Vicky Losada.
Will be pleasing, but she'll want to take those 3 points back to London with her. So Vicky Losada is the player coming off for Cankovic. And Madison Haley also making way for Adjamang.
Being replaced by number 59, Michelle Adjamang.
It is that left shoulder of the West Ham captain, which forces her off the field of play, and Daphne Brynnes-Dottir will come on for the Hammers. As we all wish Gory a speedy recovery. Hopefully that injury does not look as bad as first appears. Absolutely phenomenal shift from the West Ham captain. As we restart and approach the final quarter of this game, which has proven to be a real battle between the two teams. West Ham managed to avoid defeat last season. They could go 3 unbeaten against Brighton for the very first time in the top flight. And these two teams met at Brighton last season in October. It was a 2-0 victory for West Ham, and then in March a goalless encounter in East London. 4 goals so far this afternoon. Will we see a winner? West Ham on the attack. The momentum of the game has certainly shifted their way. Free kick given. And a yellow card as well. The frustration in the challenge. And Kankovic has only been on the field for a matter of moments, and her first piece of action in the game is to concede the free kick and to get in the book as well. West Ham have bodies forward. Two players on the outskirts of the 18-yard area, but plenty in the box as well as the delivery comes in. And the header over the crossbar. 2 fantastic goals from range for West Ham United. They'll be hoping perhaps to click into some threatening action closer to goal and make the most of those set-piece deliveries as well. Long ball down the right-hand side, will be chased onto, played back, and then the offside flag is up. But that ball's a decent one for Brighton to try down the channels, especially with players that have the pace of Seke and Agyemang. Agyemang in particular, fresh blood off the bench, can perhaps try and tire out the West Ham defenders who've been on the pitch from the very first whistle. She's going to try and help her teammate out to win possession. The throw-in given to Brighton, and you can see how Rhiannon Skinner feels about that. Here is Agyemang. And already leaves Smith for dust, but the challenge is shaken off, the advantage is played, and the corner is won. The teenager making an impact off of the bench. Now can Brighton capitalise with the corner. Right-footed delivery comes in, cleared. Brighton with the chance to go again, recycling the ball back in towards that 18-yard area. And Asai now with the chance to break for West Ham. There's space over on the left-hand side if she can get the cross, but that's a brilliant ball forwards. Oh, it just misses the run of her teammate, unable to control it there. Into the final 10 minutes we go. There's Paris looking to try and link up with Seike, who won't give up but was in a offside position before coming back and getting involved in play. Here's a chance for Brighton, the game opening up, the ball falling kindly, the shot being taken. And when Fran Kirby is in those situations, a goal inevitably isn't too far away. Brighton and Hove Albion regain their advantage late here at the Amex. And Fran Kirby doing what she does best, making those runs, making those drives into dangerous positions in the box, and then just having that calm composure. She makes it Brighton Hove Albion 3, West Ham United 2. We spoke earlier on about the importance in this Brighton team of the experienced personnel that's been brought in the summer, and that is exactly why Brighton pursued a player like Fran Kirby. She demands a lot of her teammates, but she demands even more of herself. What an important goal that might well prove to be. Brighton have surrendered a 2-goal advantage. And if they're to see out victory here at the Amex, they cannot afford to do it again. What a game those who have travelled to the Amex and those of you watching from further afield have been treated to. Goals galore. And a fixture between two sides battling away. Brighton haven't conceded too many goals so far this season, only 2 in one match, in the match against Villa. They managed to win that one 4-2. And other than the 5-0 thumping last week, it's been slender margins. 1-0 loss at Man City, a 1-0 victory against big rivals Palace. 1-1 draw against Man United, and then a 1-0 victory against Leicester. Can Brighton perhaps make things more comfortable heading in towards the latter stages of this game? For West Ham, can they dig just that little bit deeper, especially now their captain, who scored both their goals so far this afternoon, is off the pitch. Someone else needs to step up in front of goal. The likes of Vivian Asai, their all-time top goal scorer, Rico Ueke. Maybe even some options on the bench. Emma Harries is a player Ian Skinner sometimes calls upon to add something in front of goal. Other than that, the manager might be wanting to roll the dice with something a bit different. We shall wait and see. We have got 5 minutes left. And Brighton have a corner. It's a lovely first touch. Ball played back. Delivery whipped in, punched away. The offside flag is up. Zadorsky it might be. Smith, in fact, who's taking a bit of a blow going up for the ball. Smith just needing a moment, won't require treatment. Brave defender. I'm sure her body was in the way. With the back heel, looking to feed it to Siren. Ajimang for Brighton. Ajimang, and the shot won't mean much as the whistle had blown beforehand. Smith doing well again for West Ham. We're struggling at the moment to get the ball out of their half. Brighton have possession. Ball will trickle out. Brighton will have a corner. Seike grafting up alongside Denton. Doing just about enough as we go into the final 90 seconds of the 90 minutes. Goal right now surely would put this game to bed. West Ham United battling in this second half to draw themselves level, find themselves behind. And Brighton restore that 2-goal cushion. The delivery comes in, headed away by Smith. Had that near post guarded and guarded effectively, West Ham. Second half that's been full of goals, 4 so far with plenty of time left as Vivian Asai will look to apply some pressure. She does so, but not enough.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 5 minutes
To create a chance for West Ham United. We will have 5 minutes as a minimum of additional time. Five minutes for some late drama. As West Ham do prepare to make a change. Emma Harries coming on in place of Kirsty Smith.
A double substitution for West Ham.
And Shannon Cook will be coming onto the field of play as well in place of Manuela Pavi.
And replacing number 2, Kirsty Smith, number 21, Shannon Cook.
Brighton minutes away from getting back to winning ways at the Amex Stadium. We're hoping for a 5th win in the WSL. And we'll stay 3rd in the division. We're going to see another change for the home team.
A substitution for
Nikita Paris coming off
Number 9, Nikita Paris.
in place of Pauline Bramer, who returns after 3 matches missing out with a muscle injury. Bramer with fantastic pedigree in 2 Champions Leagues. Played for Wolfsburg, Manchester City, Olympic Lyon. Further pedigree in this brilliant Brighton and Hove Albion squad. She's been charged with leading the line and just helping the Seagulls see out this game after being pushed all the way, especially in this second half, by West Ham, losing their captain after she just bagged a brace. Took the sting out of a fantastic spell in the match, and Brighton have reclaimed control. And they'll look to exert it by just keeping hold of the ball. And making sure that they don't invite any unnecessary problems on themselves, because West Ham will continue out of possession to work hard and make something out of nothing, as was the case with Gory with 2 fine goals. Pattinson with the throw. Gets the ball back, plays it back to Adjaman. Nice turn by Ueki. Asai's making a run forward. There's plenty of bodies making a run forward for West Ham, in fact. Surely they can't level again, West Ham. The block's made. The goal kick given. You wonder whether perhaps that was the last chance for the visitors to salvage some points to show for their display today. The 5 minutes has been played. Referee urged to blow the whistle by the home crowd, desperate to see their team get back to winning ways. The ball bounces, Adjaman chests and hooks. Cook will take the throw in for West Ham. Try and get possession as far up the pitch as possible. The ball bounces, and here's Siren. Some space on that left-hand side. The shot comes in. Gathered into ground, Sophie Bagley goes. West Ham have scored from that range on 2 occasions already this afternoon, so I'm sure there was a few home supporters with their hearts in their mouth as the full-time whistle does bring to an end this 5-goal thriller at the Amex Stadium. West Ham United pushing Brighton all the way. But in the end, the Seagulls continue to soar in the WSL, back to winning ways. It finishes Brighton and Hove Albion 3, West Ham United 2.